Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Renegades listening party. It's going to be a little bit different to what we did with the Edge of Fate one because, as you've all probably noticed, the Renegade soundtrack is not out yet. It is not on the Bungie store. It's not uploaded to YouTube, the Bungie official YouTube channel. We do have some music for you all to listen to today, including the dungeon music. I should also mention Promethean is not here, so it's just going to be us four today.
He had a doctor's
And
appointment.
yeah, we're going to be hiding the track durations so that no one here can see how long the tracks are. There is some
No
special
progress bar.
surprises. Yeah, there are some special surprises in some of these tracks that I want everyone to react to live that I think the durations give away. And then another thing I should note, I assembled all of this within like 4 or 5 hours on the first day of Renegades coming out. I have no idea if I am missing any tracks. This should be the vast majority of the new music in Renegades. Just going into this, know that this isn't like fully representative or exactly representative of what the Renegade soundtrack will be, but I did my best to try to do the tracks justice so that we can fully hear what Brendan, Michael, Nolan, and Josh did for us. I'm Bresci, if no one knows who I am. Basically, I started the Destiny Music Archive channel because I listened to the soundtrack and I was like, hey, I remember hearing some stuff in the game. Why wasn't it in that? So I go into the game files and assemble the music, post it to YouTube so that people can get the full versions of the music and so that everyone can enjoy all the new stuff and music that the composers have made for this game, because I think they do genuinely really amazing stuff, and I think everyone should be able to hear the full compositions that they make.
I am Alex, but I prefer to just go by my name, which is Owen. I have been involved with Destiny music stuff. Actually, I'm pretty sure since before Bresci has. I started doing stuff with like covers and us trying to assemble their Music of the Spheres album with sort of kind of like Destiny Music Archive style before it was officially released in 2018. And I actually have I have the sheet music to Music of the Spheres. I've gotten to make some officially licensed covers of the whole thing. I have a chiptune 8-bit NES inspired version of that whole thing actually coming out tomorrow, which if you're listening in the future, that's Friday, December 5th, 2025. It's called Music of the Cubes because that's the obvious low hanging fruit joke. And I have been doing a lot more work on Destiny Music Archive in recent years. I always have kind of been in the background to varying degrees. In the beginning, it really was mostly, or if not entirely, just Bresci, but I've always kind of tried to help out when I can. And now I'm the person responding to most of the comments and doing a lot of the uploads.
I'm Lorcan. I used to be very active in the whole Destiny music thing, basically just doing what Bresci did, but in way worse quality because I would just use Audacity to record the in-game music as it played. Most of my upload catalog is gone because of the drama. If you know, you know. So they just keep me around for, I don't know, comedic relief or something.
Well, we enjoy having your company.
We like you, Lorcan.
I know.
We need to meet our Irish quota, man. Come on.
Okay, you're
I
next.
am Rosa Nagashi. If you've been in this community for a while, especially in the music side of it, you might already know me. I used to host these listening parties on my channel. We did a very, very big one last year with The Final Shape, where we went through the entire catalog of Destiny music history over the course of a week. I am also a music producer and audio engineer. I currently work in the VTubing industry, but I got my start making Destiny-inspired fan stuff, both piano covers and lo-fi remixes. You may have seen the Destiny lo-fi collection at some point in your recommended. That was me. I am a lot further disconnected from Destiny these days than I used to be, but I will always come back for music, and especially if someone like Mike returning for a soundtrack, that's gonna get me back in the booth. So I'm back here to keep everybody company.
This is the first. I'm assuming the only person here who actually knows what any of these are based on the information provided on screen is Bresci. Even then, I wouldn't be surprised if he forgot what the BPMs are for a lot of them. So this is actually fairly blind, at least in terms of what track is which. This is the first track by Mr. Brendan Williams. the composer for Riven, Keep of Voices.
I figured this would be the best track to put in the #1 spot. There is a bit of a jump in intensity there. I think in the soundtrack it's going to be a little more smooth. Yeah, this is like the Destiny version of Imperial March. So that motif there is the rose. That shows up in the Cabal Stomp track. I think there's a lot of Cabal Stomp-like-esque things in this track, so Brendan Williams is definitely trying to get in that Cabal feel with this track. And there's the rose again. That is what we call the Resist the Legion melody, because I think that's the name of the track where it originated from. They're using it here in association with Drifter, I believe. And that's our Guardian. You have to have Guardian in every track. Someone's going to be counting how many Guardians are in here. That number is going to be very high, probably. I'm going to turn it up just a slight amount. That's the new Renegades motif, which also played at the very beginning in a very menacing way. Really love the way Brendan uses that motif. And I really love the endings for these tracks. Like, I listen to this. This just sounds like Star Wars. I could picture that playing like on Tatooine. And that is track 1.
What a way to star this war.
I thought this one, like, when I think of the track that like defines Renegades in 2 to 3 minutes, this is the first one I think of. So I thought this would make the good first track spot.
I think right after that, like that like ambient intro section, that big like fanfare with the main Renegades motif, that is like
the beginning,
the defining 10 seconds of music from this expansion. If I had to pick like anything, it is easily like the most Star Wars sounding of all of this. Like, this track is very Imperial March coded, obviously.
Yeah, and not to mention that Brendan Williams also does have some experience with doing Star Wars music. I'm pretty sure he was one of the composers on Outlaws.
He was,
yeah. And Nolan Markey does too, right? Nolan Markey's also done Star Wars stuff in the past?
He's been doing additional music for a lot of the animated projects, so things like Clone Wars, Bad Batch, and I know he's done orchestration for some of the live action shows like Ahsoka. I think it's really awesome that they brought Nolan in, and I think Nolan's tracks are my favorite on here. I'm really excited for you guys to hear those.
Yeah, I mean, this track was a really good introduction to Renegades, because this plays in the opening cutscene too, right?
It does, yeah.
I don't remember which cutscene, but I know it plays in the first mission. I think this
Yeah,
is
it
the
definitely plays in
first
the first
track you
mission.
hear in the first mission.
I do remember this is like again, not going to spoil anything for anyone, but during that big cinematic opening, the big fight in the hallway, yeah, that's where this plays.
Williams remains like top dog when it comes to integrating various motifs into his tracks.
Yeah, because as we were talking about in the live chat, the uses of like the Rose and like Resist the Legion and all that stuff, like it all fits really nicely.
The Rose here specifically, I'm going to assume is likely here because it is basically it's the B melody of Cabal Somp.
Yeah, it's here in relation to Cabal, I think.
Yeah, it's more here, I think, as a Cabal Somp reference as opposed to the Rose reference.
But I do find it interesting that, like, so far, both entries in the Fate Saga have had stuff from Music of the Spheres, which makes sense because, you know, the 9.
Yeah, I still don't... I still don't know why the path is in Edge of Fate. I'm sure I'll never get an answer to that, but at least here we know Rose is Cabal related.
Rose makes a lot of sense here.
So I tried to mix some Orbit stuff, or not mix, but throw in some Orbit stuff in between a lot of the action tracks here so that we got some calm moments. I have no idea how they're going to order the actual Renegade soundtrack when that comes out. So all this is just my guess of how I think they would order it. And I think this is my favorite of Mike's new tracks. And I really like that use of the new motif. I love this part so much. Yeah, Mike really killed it. In Inner Light. No, there was Inner Light. That's the B melody of Guardian. Something I don't think they've referenced before. If they have, it's very, very rare that they do. That's track 2.
I didn't expect that after Final Shape, any related Destiny thing could really get that much more of an emotional reaction out of me. Music was one thing. I expected music to be able to. I didn't expect any like story or gameplay moment to do so. Without saying anything, those who know, the section where you first hear this track genuinely got me stunned silent. And I mean that as a positive thing. The moment this started playing, the moment that piano kicked in, I immediately knew this was a Mike track. Like, this is, without question, a Mike Orbit track. It was so nice to hear one of these. I'm so glad that we actually have some pieces of Orbit music for this expansion, because not having anything in Edge of Fate felt just wrong, honestly.
There was a huge lack of, like, the ambient stuff to kind of give you a break in between all the really intense pieces, but Renegades doesn't have that issue. We have plenty of Orbit, calm stuff, and even some of the Tharsis stuff are really nice to hear. So, and all of those are done by Mike, by the way. Mike was only involved with the Orbit and Tharsis Outpost tracks.
I'm
Good use
actually
of them,
not
really.
shocked that he would only do like social space stuff. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm really glad they got Mike back because I think Mike's tracks sound the most Destiny in here. I think you'll notice a lot of
Yeah.
these pieces are very Star Wars inspired, but then some just sound like Destiny. That's a good sign of which tracks are the Mike ones, those ones that are just full on Destiny sounding.
Yeah. Also, there's a very short flourish in this track. I believe this isn't the only track in which it happens. That is kind of the first few notes of Bow to No One, but not quite. But it reminds me enough of it that makes me go, oh yeah, this definitely is a Mike track.
Mike
'Cause
likes
he,
to call
like-
back a little flourishes
He
like that
likes
all the
Bow to
time.
No One a lot.
As he should.
You'll hear in a lot of Mike's tracks here, he's calling back like real old stuff. So whenever there's a Mike track playing, pay close attention. You might just recognize something from years and years ago. Speaking of, did everyone hear that B melody of Guardian towards the end there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never use that.
I don't know if they have ever used that in a track before, like in a new piece. So that was really cool to hear.
I do hope they keep this one as because this is one of the main Orbit tracks now, right? Post campaign.
Yeah, there are 3 Orbit tracks. Every time you go into Orbit in Renegades, there is a 1 in 3 chance you will hear any of them, and it is fully random which of those 3 you hear. 2 of them are Mike, 1 of them is Josh. The next track up we have is by Nolan Markey, and this is Nolan's first track for Destiny. Let's all give Nolan Markey a huge welcome to the Destiny franchise, because as you guys will hear when you guys listen, he killed it. I think a lot of Nolan's tracks just sound straight out of a Star Wars movie. He killed the Star Wars vibe. That's a really good use of Guardian there. And I think that's Nolan's first time ever using that Guardian melody, so that's a really great first use. And the percussion is so good. There's guns blazing. Oh, I was so happy to hear guns blazing. I love guns blazing so much. And I think that's here just kind of Outlaws related because of Forsaken having similar themes to this. There's that Resist the Legion melody. I'll probably just call it the like Drifter melody going forward because I don't think it's being used for Cabal reasons. I think it's being used here for Drifter. There's Guardian again. I'm surprised Rose is actually counting how many Guardian uses are in here. That's Cabal Stomp. I forgot. Yeah, there also is Cabal Stomp in here. That is Visage of Oryx, I think. So that's interesting. Yeah, so there's some Taken stuff in here. We get really quiet here. That trumpet solo. We're not done. We're not done, y'all. We're not done. So yeah, that was the rose there at the beginning. And then this is the new Renegades motif. And then I think we're on a 7-8 or something. I remember this one was a different time signature. I know it goes 7-8 some point. I'm not really good with time signatures, like being able to count them in real time. There's another rose. Rose again, but it's just going higher and higher. It's so good. There's Guardian. That's a really good Guardian. And that part is so good. That is really good. It's really fun. It is so fun how Nolan is using the Destiny melodies. There's Be Brave. Tense version of Be Brave. I completely get why Josh was freaking out when he was hearing this. Nolan, there's gotta be real people that play this. Oh, that's Rise. Guardian again. Yeah, I love that one so much. Nolan, welcome to the Destiny team.
Team in the future
All
for
right.
the
Yeah,
love
oh
of
my
all that is
God.
holy. Oh my god, dude.
So remember how I said earlier, make sure I press this stop after current button?
Yeah.
That's because I am not pressing pause myself for any reason because I do not know if a track has actually ended. That right there is why.
Yeah, I left a message in the chat too. I was like, Owen, don't pause it. Please let it play. I know it gets quiet here, but it comes back.
That high action, that unique high action, is one of the most insane pieces of music in this entire video game.
Yeah, like you were saying in the chat, like this is Mike saying, you know, humans have to play this, right?
Yeah, this
that
was
is
the
the
track
exact
that
track,
was in
too.
reference to.
Yeah, this is Nolan's first track for Destiny, and I think he did a phenomenal job.
What an introduction, man. Genuinely.
By the way,
I do. Yeah.
I just want to quickly confirm this does not play in the campaign.
The
This
high
does
action
not
doesn't, or
play-
the entire track doesn't.
The high action did not play in the campaign or Lawless Frontiers.
Interesting.
Okay, so
all right.
That's
so,
all
hey,
I'll
chat, we
say.
may hear it in
That's
the
all
dungeon.
I'll say. We have not heard that before. Anyway,
Right,
we got to calm down after that track. So we
Yeah,
got a
Nolan,
mic piece next.
If you're watching this, Nolan, we greet you with open arms, and we very much look forward to anything that you do for this franchise in the future, and
To
anything
quote-
you do
to-
elsewhere in the future. I'm gonna have to keep tabs on you.
Yeah.
To borrow a Star Wars-ism, we'll be watching your career with great interest.
I might have to
Yeah.
go back and listen through Nolan's entire like everything he's done in the past.
All right. Next one.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
move on
fine,
to
let's
Mike's
do it.
second piece.
Oh my god.
So the harp here is actually referencing one of the farm tracks. Everyone here remembers A New Frontier. And then the drums here, I believe, are from one of the Mars Patrol tracks in D1. See, I want to leave the fun facts that I'm giving right now in the chat, but I'm probably gonna have to repeat them after anyway. And then here is Acceptance. Yeah, that's Acceptance from Beyond Light. Oh, is that not Acceptance? Was that called Arms? Or was it Respite? It might be Respite. I think Lorcan's right. Yeah, I think that was Respite. That was not Acceptance. That little Be Brave, that's really cool. And the new motif thrown in after, like, I really like that. When they do that, when they have, like, one motif and then they follow it up with another one as a call response. I love all the references that Mike throws into his older stuff. And sometimes even stuff that like Seapaw or Sky did.
This entire track felt like early D2 Orbit to me. Like D2 Vanilla, Forsaken Shadowkeep, like era Orbit.
Yeah,
track.
strong Shadowkeep energy on some of those.
I'm
motifs.
pretty sure there's a reference to Respite.
Yeah, no, there is.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't think it might not be an intentional reference, but like
It's the same like
It-
progression or something.
yeah, it feels like a very like on the nose kind of callback to it.
Alright, let's move on to
All right,
Josh's only piece.
Monster, my goat.
This right here is Mosser's only piece on the soundtrack. This one plays in Orbit. Bit of a dark version of Guardian there. Yeah, Evil Guardian. Sith Lord music. At least that's what it reminds me of. This is like Kylo Ren's theme. Cool. That's the end of that one.
And yeah, that's Josh's track. I meant to call out a second ago. I actually really like the Renegades motif.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
same.
too. It's good.
I just
I
wanted
like
to
it
take
more
a
than
quick
the Edge of
second to
Fates.
call that out. I like that Edge of Fate motif a lot, but I definitely like this one more. Yeah. I meant to say this at the end of the Nolan Markey track and totally forgot. I'm sorry, I'm being really spacey because I'm getting invested in the music and then forgetting to say
It's
stuff.
all good. Don't worry about it.
That Nolan track straight up had one of my favorite, like that way he used the rose where it just went crazy. That was such a cool thing.
I think that's my favorite use of that part of Rose
agreed.
ever.
To go back onto the Renegades motif really quick, what I enjoy so much about it, some Destiny motifs allow for this, others not so much. I really like how the Renegades motif is like perfectly structured to initiate a call and response.
Yeah.
Like you
that was
put
one of my favorite things about Discipline.
Yeah, you put it at the start of a phrase, and like you have the da 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 da, and then da da, and then you could go for like maybe like go to a different chord, go da 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 da, or something like that, right? There's so many different call and responses that you can do with those few notes that really allows you to, for lack of, I've seen this word going around in the community occasionally, and I disagree with it entirely, but it prevents something from sounding like motif slop, where it's just using a motif for the sake of using a motif. No, it's using a motif to initiate something and then evolve the next phrase of it further. And the Renegades motif is really good at that. Do we know who wrote it?
Actually, yes, we do.
Oh,
it was actually a collaboration between all four composers. All four composers contributed some kind of edit or suggestion to that motif.
really?
So all
Wow.
four of them worked on it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What I really like is how they structure their melodies to work in every single type of way that it's needed to work in. So there can be an evil version, there can be a calm version, there can be a sad version, there can be a heroic version, there can be a really quick version that you'll be able to pick up if you only hear like a few notes of it. That is like an integral part of Destiny music. What I really love about Destiny's music is everything that they do, everything that the composers put into this music, it's done for a reason. It's handcrafted so that every second of the music that you're hearing, something important is happening. A melody is being referenced, related to a character in the story or some kind of story arc. Like that stuff, I just love so much. I love melody and motif heavy music like what Destiny has.
I just really disagree with the criticism that they over rely on motifs.
Oh yeah, me too.
They have dozens of them at this point because like this is what happens when you have so many, when you have over a decade worth of characters with all these associations and a decade of motifs that mean all these different things, because you just got a motif for so many occasions, and that's just how film music works.
And I think that's a special thing about Destiny is including that gravy. Like that's what makes Destiny music Destiny music. If it doesn't have motifs, I would argue it is not Destiny music anymore.
Oh, 100%.
I would say it's just generic film or game music without the gravy.
The thing I enjoy a lot about it is that you have this constantly evolving world that's been going for, well over a decade at this point. And every single story that they make, at least the major stories, obviously not really for the seasons, but for all of the major stories, there's always some sort of melody that goes along with it. And at any point, if like a decade later, a callback is made to that story, they'll be sure to put the melody from that story back into the track. Like, just as an example, with Heresy, where we suddenly like go back to a lot of Oryx's story, and then in the dungeon, there's Oryx's like scalpel in that vault, and you bet your ass that a bunch of the Taken King motifs are in those tracks. Because that's really important to like this part of chisel, not scalpel. Sorry. That's really important to the story of Oryx. So that's why I love this so much. Like if in the future we're calling back to the Barant Imperium, or if Bale ends up becoming a more like permanent character who we see like more often, or even someone like Honor, like this melody could be used again.
It's really rewarding to be a fan of the music of Destiny and having heard all of these melodies so that you can catch when they're referenced again, because they're like, oh yeah, I remember that from so many years ago, and that means, oh, so maybe this character is coming back or this character is in the forefront or something. Yeah, let's move on to our next Brendan track.
Let's hear more not John Williams, but Brendan Williams.
So that melody shows up a few times in the soundtrack. I thought it was a reference to Dark Horizons, which was a mic piece from Shadowkeep, but I don't know anymore. The Be Brave. Oh yeah, this one does use Be Brave a lot, doesn't it? Yeah, as Jake is saying in the chat there. This is the Brendan Be Brave track. It's really cool what they just did there with the trumpet. We need a Be Brave counter now. And most of the uses are gonna be from this track. Like, that's so cool. That's so cool. There's Guardian. There's the new motif. I love Brendan's use of choir too, because it's very majestic, it's very beautiful. That little pause there before going into the next. I could have sworn I heard the Taken melody, Visage of Oryx, in there. There's that guns blazing. It sounds so much like the way Wilbert Roger uses that melody in Forsaken, like guns blazing motif. And yeah, the percussion. Percussion is a highlight of this one easily. I love the endings to all of Brendan's pieces. They're so like Star Wars. That's Be Brave, the track.
Wow.
With Brendan Williams' take on Be Brave.
Yeah, I really like when Be Brave is used like harmonically slightly different, so it builds a lot of tension, and then like I guess the B section of Be Brave is then used to like release a lot of that. I loved I loved that specific section in this track. That was really well done. Also, Brendan Williams does 7/8 so incredibly well, to the point that you almost don't even notice that it's 7/8.
All right, we get to continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, another Salvatore track. There's not enough of them. We
gotta break the tension. Include these Salvatore calmer tracks in between the action pieces, so we have a moment to breathe. Yeah, I believe this one is the Battle Stations-esque track in Tharsis. I think everyone in the chat's already familiar with it. I really like this one. It did remind me of Grass of Avarice at the beginning too, yeah. It sounded a little piratey with the strings. But no, this is a Battle Stations, a new take on Battle Stations from Red War. Which fits contextually because, as everyone knows, Nightfall Station is a big station, Cabal station, that I don't think it can blow up planets, but it can do a lot of damage. I don't know. Sort of like the Almighty. They're bringing back Battle Stations, which also played on the Almighty. I think that fits contextually. That's another reference to Battle Stations there. What the trumpet is doing here. The choir. And I think I can share this, but this part of Battle Stations, I'm pretty sure, was something Mike wrote for the original Battle Stations track. It wasn't C. Paul's track entirely. Mike had to finish writing the rest of it. There's a Rise reference. I really like Rise. He's using Rise the exact same way it's used in Battle Stations too. This one is just a love letter to Battle Stations. I love it so much. And that flute playing the Renegades motif there, that was cool. And that's the new Battle Stations, as I'm sure everyone noticed.
When I tell you that when, like, the opening of the track sounded a bit like Battle Stations, I was like, oh, that's neat. But then when that full, like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, when that kicked in, the way that I screamed when I heard that.
There's actually a lot of Battle Station references in this, other than just that part. Like the trumpets and the horns. The choir in the middle doing exactly what it does when it's building up to that moment. Later on, he references Rise the exact same way that C. Paul uses it at the beginning of Battle Stations. This one's just a love letter to Battle Stations.
Yeah, this is just Battle Stations if it was a social space track. Because this is Tharsis Outpost, yeah?
Yes, this one played in Tharsis.
That was just Battle Stations in a cool new way. Kind of like how...
Yeah, which is fine. You know, I'm here for it.
Yeah, same. It's like how Halo 3 comes out, and it's like, oh, whoa, here's another walk in the woods. This next one, there's so much. I think, if this is the one I think it is, there is so much I want to say about this one that I will not get to say. But the fact that this track exists is something I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life.
Alright, and we have heard this one because this was part of the stream preview. So what Mike is referencing there is Lord's Lost is the track that it was called in Rise of Iron. And I think that's a reference to Battle Stations, what the brass is doing. Actually, it has to be Battle Stations because what the strings are doing here, that is Battle Stations again. And this is a really fun thing. Those drums there, those are drums from, I think the track was called Siege Dancers for D1. So Mike is really pulling, like, very old things from the archive to reference here, like things related to Mars. This track does play in Tharsis Outpost too, so that fits. And then I really like the way Mike uses the new motif here. See, like, Mike's tracks don't sound very Star Warsy, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I love that Mike is just putting Destiny into these tracks. Like, it just sounds like Destiny. It's full on Destiny. Inner Light. He's using Inner Light here exactly like he used it in, I think it was Forge Ahead. I know it was a Red War track. I'm pretty sure it was Forge Ahead.
That was really good.
I would have
When
to
the
listen
Lord
again
is
Buzz
lost.
to figure that out. Yeah, a lot of people think that that's Shadow of the Walker. That's in Shadow of the Walker, but in Shadow of the Walker, that is also just calling back to Lord's Lost. That is originally from Lord's Lost. So this next one is a remix of an earlier track.
It is not. We have not heard.
This track is a remix of this one.
Oh,
So we're getting the remix before
why
the
is
main
it put
track.
in this order then?
There's a very good reason.
You'll see why.
Oh, okay. Noted.
Yeah, the tracks that are labeled as remixes are because they're remixes of other tracks that they made for the album.
Okay, yeah, everyone in the chat already kind of guessed what this is. This is one of the tracks in the Fire and Ice exotic mission. I'm pretty sure Nolan did this remix. I mean, he wrote the original track that this is a remix of. And Nolan, if you did this, please tell them to bring you back for more Destiny stuff. I need more music from you, dude. Also, this exotic mission was so good. The music, the puzzles, everything about it was amazing. So that's Visage of Oryx again, which fits. This is a Taken Ascendant Plane mission. Very tense version of Beyond Light.
I'm so glad the soundtrack had a track like this and it wasn't all just like extreme Star Wars referencey stuff.
Yeah.
This entire like section where this played took me by so much surprise when I played it. In like the best way possible.
That entire mission was such a welcome surprise.
I loved
It really
Fire and
was.
Ice. And I really hope these show up on the soundtrack, because normally they wouldn't include like the Ascendant mix or the future mix of like an existing track, but I think it would really benefit the soundtrack to have these to kind of mix up from the Star Wars feeling. Alright, so we're going to Brendan Williams. Oh, I love this one. That immediate Resist the Legion, I know. I think this might be my favorite Brendan piece for Renegades. It is such a beautiful rendition of that Resist the Legion melody. And it shows up multiple times in here. I love how Brendan just hits you hard. Like, alright, we're not in the intro anymore, now we're in the action. The way the new music system works is really cool. Like, I do miss that there's no ambient stuff as much. But the way they have it set up, it's very flexible and I love it. Yeah, I do believe this one was 9-8 in several spots. I love how so many of Brendan's tracks is just him like taking a Destiny melody and then writing stuff around that. Like, this is the Be Brave track, this is the Resist the Legion track. The way Resist the Legion's used there, that's really cool. It's like an evil version. Spooky version. And then when it gets quiet here with the woodwinds. There's so many Guardian counters. It's like 4 different Guardian references in the last minute. There's that melody that I think is Dark Horizons, but I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be a reference or not. It's used a lot, so I feel like it has to be. There's so many Resist the Legion references, I love it. Starting to reach our climax of the track. I think we're in our pre-outs now. I love this so much. Yeah, that ending is really good. I love that Guardian, and then that Resist the Legion, like, heroic flourish right at the end. Yeah, I think this is my favorite Brendan track of the soundtrack so far.
That was
Nobody
very good.
does like interesting time signatures like Brendan Williams, man. Like, this track kind of being 3/4-ish, but it feels more like 9/8 split into 3/3s.
I think it
Like-
was implemented into Why Is That 9/8, so there's definitely
Yeah,
some 9/8 bits in there.
Yeah, I would not be shocked because it feels so nice to listen to because it flows so well. This definitely feels more like a Destiny track than it does a Star Wars track.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of Star Wars isms there, definitely. I would say.
Oh,
but
sure.
Yeah, like-
There's
they're
a lot
there.
of like this is just Destiny 2.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
feels
I'm-
a lot more traditionally Destiny 2 with some Star Wars flourish as opposed to like very Star Warsy with a lot
Yeah.
of Destiny flourish.
Yeah, this is gonna be a weird pull, but like what this track really reminded me of, it reminded me a lot of Halo Wars 2, which okay, I guess because Gordy Hobb wrote that and he does a lot of the Star Wars stuff, and people accuse that soundtrack of sounding too Star Warsy, and like I'm hearing it's like a little bit of DNA in this, just a little, but maybe that's just me.
I didn't know the Halo Wars guy did Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, Gordy Hobb. He's done stuff for like the Old Republic MMO and a few other little things.
Yeah.
I think he collabed on the Jedi
Oh.
Survivor games.
He actually he's not only Star Wars, he's Indiana Jones. He did
Oh, yeah.
The Great Circle.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I
So
guess
he's
he's good at
He's
doing the George
super
Lucas
John
style.
Williams. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we have
Mike
two more
Salvatore,
Salvatore pieces
104.
left. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is his other Orbit one. See, I set up this track order like a day or two ago, and then I forgot how I ordered it, so I don't fully remember like what the next stuff is. Is your Guardian counter? Yep. That's a What We Fight For reference right there. The drums for this one are also pulled from a Mars Patrol track from D1. I don't remember the one. But Mike is very clearly like trying to make this fit into the D1 Mars stuff by inputting some of that stuff. Yeah, even if Rotom doesn't show up on the soundtrack, there is a reference to something Rotom did. There's Cabal Stomp. Oh, does Buzz recognize the drums? Like all in from Lightfall? Yeah.
I feel like for the Orbit contributions, Mike really channeled like D2 vanilla era social space and Orbit stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad because if I like look back on the long history of like Tower, Social Space, and Orbit tracks, I think the D2 vanilla era is probably my favorite.
for sure.
I'm just really happy that Rotom was here in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if he
Yeah.
didn't write a track for the soundtrack, he's there.
I don't know if Rotom is gonna watch this, but Rotom, if you hear this, I really like the stuff that you do, and I hope that even though you seemingly weren't involved in this one, I hope that we do hear more from you.
And then
Yeah,
same
me
with
too.
Peter.
Peter, yeah.
Peter especially too, yeah.
Like, we know Peter conducted for this one, but
Yeah.
we hope that him and Rotom come back to compose for the next soundtrack.
Yeah. Like, Rotom, I understand that maybe after making Break What You Must, you're like, I have done my job. I have nothing left to teach you. We would love to hear more from you.
Yes, we want more Break What You Must, please.
All right, we're on this one, right? Track 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, next Williams track. Not the last Williams track yet.
I don't immediately remember this one. I don't remember which motif this one was kind of heavily based around. There's Guardian. Inner Light. It does remind me of Imperial March, the little drum beat. It almost sounds like he's referencing the way he used Inner Light in Keep of Voices. And we don't hear this part of Inner Light that much. Is this the Inner Light track? Inner Light is the piece they wrote this around? Oh, that's a Marty credit. That's the Rose. That's good to remember in my head. Seven, 8 followed by 9, 8. Oh, the drums! The drums! Those were so good. And there's a Rise. Rise in between the Guardian bits. There's so much Guardian here at the end. I love this. Yeah, you thought it ended? No, we're still in it. Yeah, the percussion in this one is going insane. And the strings, listen to the strings. Major key Inner Light. Some of the best uses of Guardian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
My
oh, for
God.
sure.
There
Brendan
have been so
Williams
many-
is the GOAT of taking two motifs and like alternating between the two of them and just creating a section out of that.
Yeah.
There have been so
Also-
many percussion parts in this whole set of tracks that I've loved, Brendan has had some really great, really light percussion parts that are like higher pitched and really fast, and some great, really bombastic low percussion, and I just really appreciate that.
Also, the classic, it's not that classic to Destiny, but it is used very often, 7/8 and 9/8 alternating, which means that you could perceive the piece of music as 4/4 because it is like the total amount of beats in 2 bars is 16, so it is divisible by 4, but it doesn't feel like 4/4 at any point because like they're so like lopsided, the two different bars. I love that composing technique.
Every time I'm assembling one of Brendan's tracks, I'm just like, Brendan, please write in 4/4. It makes my job so much easier because everything aligns to the grid. But it sounds so much more interesting when he is doing the time signature changes and that stuff. So, like
100%.
Musically, it is much better the way Brendan writes, and I prefer that. But man, it is a pain to assemble some of these sometimes.
I mean, is it easier at least than assembling Break What You Must? Because that one has...
that must have been difficult.
I think the most difficult track for me to assemble was something like First Disciple or Replicate, if I remember.
Fair enough. Oh, Replicate, the joyous 15/16.
Break What You Must did have some moments where I was just like, okay, what is going on? But no, none of Brendan's pieces for this were particularly that crazy with the time signature stuff, like at least in that aspect.
Yeah. But yeah, what Brendan, someone mentioned earlier when I
2316.
Don't give him ideas. Please don't give him ideas.
Hey, also, you know what you should do? You should copy this one tactic that another composer used and have your time signatures represent the Fibonacci sequence. So you do 1/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 5/4, 8/4, 13/4, 21/4, and then back to 1.
Or just write in 4/4. Because that's fine too.
Just the begging in that tone, please, just be normal,
please. But what someone was saying when I mentioned the like Brendan motif juggling, someone was like Keep of Voices. Yes, exactly like that. Like in Keep of Voices High Action, where we get Inner Light mixed with the Forsaken motif. Now back in Edge of Fate, where we had a couple of those like Beyond Light, I believe, mixed with, was it Rise? I don't remember exactly what it was. But like Brendan does that stuff so often where he like takes one motif, makes it very heroic, and then after each like singular phrase of that motif, like in the background, he'll add a little flourish with another instrument of another motif before jumping back to like the main one that he was referencing. Yeah, Beyond Light and Guardian in the Linguist. That's the one I was referring to.
All right, we're moving on to Mike's last track for Renegades here. I think this was the Tharsis one that I remember liking a lot. There's some really good strings in this. I love the strings here so much. Dude, I've heard that melody from Mike before, but I can't place where I've heard it before. And then the strings here, that's doing Rise.
Thank you for everything, Mike.
Thank you, Mike, once again.
Downright
Thank
criminal
you,
leaving
Mike.
us wanting more.
I think we'll just forever stay in that mood when it comes to
Yeah, enough is never
Mike's
good enough.
contributions to this franchise. It's just what I'm really happy about is the thing that disappointed me most with Mike's contributions in Final Shape is that there wasn't more of it. Like, he got to do those 2 tracks. Both of those tracks were things that either in one case was made well over a decade ago and finally had a chance to be used, and the other one was a track that like he had wanted to make from the very beginning, but it was just never able to come to fruition. But in doing that, like, Final Shape kind of missed the things that Mike was so iconic for in this franchise, which was Orbit and Tower music. Like, I feel like Mike's Orbit and Tower tracks sometimes are the most like well remembered ones among all of them. They're the most like unequivocally Destiny sounding.
Yeah.
And like not having any like Orbit or Tower track from Mike in Final Shape definitely felt like something was missing. And this kind of just feels like a little bit of an epilogue to all of his Destiny contributions, going like, yeah, you know what? I did miss making those Tower and Orbit tracks. Here's a couple of extra ones to send you off.
Well, yeah, and Mike did do more for the Final Shape than just those.
Oh, of course.
Because the reason he had less of his own tracks is because he was more, for that particular one, he was way more involved with a few tracks by other people than he would have otherwise been. Anyway, yeah, thank you, Mike. Really appreciate all that you've done for all of us, you know, not just this game, but all of us in this call and in this community. Next up is track 14, I believe.
Yeah,
So
we
is
don't
this
have...
a remix of track 6?
Well, you'll have to find out.
Because they're both 124 BPM. They're both Williams tracks.
We'll see. We don't have a lot of calm moments for the next few, so everyone sit tight. The music in Fire and Ice is so good. It's such a stark, like, difference to the Star Wars sound. And I'm also like not used to hearing Brendan write like this, because even Keep of Voices and Miss of Memory, they did have like taken versions for that DLC, but they didn't sound, I don't know, like the best way to use it, like ravey electronicness. They definitely had some of that synthy element. Oh, there's just something about these that just sounds so unique for these composers, and for Destiny as a whole. I really like synthy tracks like this because it shows that the composers not only know how to write for an orchestra and for real people, but that they can make really good, like, produced and synthy music too. Like, they know how to use a DAW, they know how to use things like Omnisphere and oscillators. And I really like them being able to express that. And just go crazy with the synthy stuff. And I love that Destiny is the type of game that allows for all these different genres of music to exist together. There can be orchestral music here, there can be synthy music here, there can be jazz music in a cantina here. Like, there's so many different genres that fit in the Destiny palette. Looks like we're probably in our pre-outs right now. Yeah. Riding in 4/4's death for Brendan. That's the last Fire and Ice track.
Really
Very
like the
interesting.
Fire and Ice tracks. They're so good.
I really like how Destiny fits all these different types of musical genres, and this album also is just a really good showcase of that. Like, there's these very orchestral pieces, there's very synthy tracks that show that the composers also know how to produce and use oscillators and synths and stuff. Like, those are like very two different like styles of writing music that is really cool to be able to see these composers show off those skills. And then there's also jazz music, so there's just so many different genres that can fit in the Destiny like world, and it doesn't sound out of place, and I love that about Destiny. It's also really cool to hear Brendan write like another Taken style version of a track that he's already did, because that's what he did for Keep of Voices and Miss the Memory.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's going all the way
I
back.
have to interject really quick. That remix was done by Rotom. I just learned that 4 seconds ago.
Rotom did this remix? Oh shit!
Yeah, both of the Taken
you,
remixes
Rotom.
were done by Rotom.
You know what?
Brendan just DM'd me to correct that.
You know what? That makes a ton of sense.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Awesome. Hey, welcome, Rotom.
Yeah. So the thing I said earlier, thanks, Rotom. You killed it. Love you, man.
How much Rotom have been listening to that going like, guys, I worked on the soundtrack. Why are you talking like I'm dead?
This is the downside of not having official credits, but
Yeah, exactly. We don't have official credits yet.
I'm sorry, Rotom.
Brendan, thank you so much for the correction.
Thank you, Brendan. Here we go. Last Williams track.
This part is so beautiful. Yeah, this is like the Renegades Keep of Voices. It's so beautiful. There's gonna be a lot of Cabal Stomp in this one. Someone keep track. I love the Cabal Stomp. Brendan took a track that I already don't really care for, Cabal Stomp, and made it actually like something I want to hear a bunch of times. And I'm only sick of Cabal Stomp because it's just so overused. And generally when it is used, it's not used in like a really new way. So when they do take Cabal Stomp and do something really new with it, that's amazing. Lightfall had a few of those moments where they took Cabal Stomp and made it heroic, or they did something different with it. Oh yeah, and the Rise melody. I forgot that shows up like throughout this one a ton. So this is like Brendan taking these melodies that C. Paul Johnson wrote and making a track out of that. And the drums here. I really like the percussion parts that Brendan writes. This part reminds me so much of Star Wars. I don't remember which movie. It was Empire or Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I love the Cabal Stomp usage here. That was Guardian. There's that Rise melody again. We've lost track of how many Guardians there are now, probably. Probably my second favorite printed track of this.
That was really good, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Brendan
Brendan Williams, 4-4.
Oh,
Brendan just informed me that the language that they used for the choir is Sanskrit. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Ooh. Interesting.
Because apparently that's what they always use in actual Star Wars.
Oh, interesting.
That makes sense.
see what I mean? There's so much care put into these soundtracks by these people. These guys, they do so much research. They do everything to make the best soundtracks imaginable for Destiny. Like they deserve so much praise for what they do.
Apparently the Sanskrit thing was Nolan's suggestion because he was doing a lot of orchestration for Clone Wars, Rebels, and other Star Wars shows. And so he would have known that because he would have been the one like writing the choir parts for them to sing. That's cool.
Next track is our last non-Cantina track. This is, I'm assuming, the same track that track 9, the Fire and Ice one, is a remix of.
Yep. And this one is my favorite one. I won't say
best for last, huh?
This is my favorite track on the entire soundtrack. You guys will hear why.
Do you want to give a similar speech to what I gave when right before break what you must played, or should we just go in without anything?
No, I want you guys to hear it and make up what you guys let your guys' thoughts go wild.
Let's hear it, Nolan.
Yeah, this is easily my favorite track in Renegades. See, everyone in the chat, everyone in the chat's just like, oh, but we've already heard this. They don't know. They don't know. Oh, but you guys watching on YouTube, you guys know. You guys know something's up. Yes, Cabal Stomp. And also, Nolan, I want to call out your use of Beyond Light at the beginning of this track. That was really good. I really love the Beyond Light melody, so you using it in like really cool heroic ways here, absolutely love that. Yeah, I've heard this part in the campaign a lot, but I love it so much. Yeah, the progression here is really cool. It's building up to something. And the trumpets there, I love those trumpets and the horns. It does remind me of Camino. Yeah, the strings, it reminds me a lot of Camino. But I love those trumpets there because it reminds me so much of like something John Williams would do in the prequels. Alright, it gets quiet here. We're not done. We're not done. We're not done, guys. There's more. Everyone's freaking out. I see why the track link was hidden out, yup. I'm trying to fake everyone out. Yeah, the rise there was really good. Yes, thank you, Legend, for posting that. That is exactly what this track reminds me of. It's literally Battle of the Heroes, but Destiny. I love it so much. And then the horn version of Rise here, it is so good. The trumpets are so good too. Like this just sounds straight out of like the prequel movie soundtrack. And there's Guardian. And it's such a good inner light. It is so good. And it's the full inner light. It's the full like phrase. Yeah, Nolan, you killed it, man. And there's Cabal Stomp again. the trumpet resist the Legion is so good. And it's not over yet, we still got a little bit more. Yes. Yes. Alright, you guys see why I was hyping that one up now?
Yeah, I get it. I get
Holy
it.
shit.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
The full inner light in the year of our Lord 2025?
It is so good.
When is the last time that we got that? Da 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 da. When is the last time we got that?
I genuinely
I
can't
can't even
remember.
No, neither. Like, it's been legitimate years. Man. Oh my god. Nolan, please stay on this music team.
Yeah,
Please
Nolan.
don't tell me that you just came round for like just the Star Wars DLC because like
I
you
don't
know
know.
your
I think
stuff.
it would be really funny if he just made that, refused to elaborate, and left.
No, please don't have another Brendan situation with Keep of Voices, man. I don't want to do this again.
No,
I don't have to
she-
wait another 6
She'll come
like
back in
6 to
6
8
years. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to wait that long.
And I don't know if anyone here has watched Revenge of the Sith, the Battle of the Heroes. That is what
Oh,
this
yeah.
track sounds like to me. This is the Destiny Battle of the Heroes to me.
Yeah, and like a lot of these like motifs just translate into the John Williams style so well.
It's
Like,
done
like
so
the
well.
Beyond Light one and the Cabal Stomp, they just something about that just fits.
Yeah, no, I think this is my favorite on the soundtrack as well from a first
Yeah,
listen.
hard agree,
Yeah.
hard agree. You sold me on it, Bressy.
In terms of action tracks, it's definitely the best one. That said, that second mic track is my favorite one, and I don't think that'll change.
yeah, no, that's very fair.
And just a note, I have no idea if they're going to separate the high action from what was before it for the soundtrack. I just combined them because this is all one music system. Same with the other Nolan track with the high action.
Y'all want to hear Bossa Nova Be Brave?
Hell yeah.
I was trying so hard to figure out
Legitimately?
where I can put these, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it Dream of the
Reshi,
Past
you just
style.
wanted another Break What You Must into fucking Dreaming of the Past vibe
Yeah.
shift.
Yeah. Now, if
That was so weird.
if I knew who did these, I could have hid them better. Because then
Yeah.
they'd be like, oh my gosh, there's 2 more tracks after that? What could possibly follow that? And then we move on to them.
Yeah.
But no.
No, the Cantina tracks are legitimately some of my favorite in this whole release because they're
Yeah.
so silly, but they work so well.
Yeah.
All right. Should we just listen to all 3 of these in one straight listen through because they're so similar? Or do we want to stop after this one and talk?
I
think we
honestly
can stop and
don't. I
talk a little
don't. I don't even really have anything to say about these. So if we want to just
Yeah, that's
be
fair,
unmuted
actually.
while we listen to these, I
Yeah.
think that would be fine.
Yeah, we can be unmuted for these because you can hear this in game at
Especially-
any point. You can even go to the jukebox.
Yeah.
I
And
already
just
have
change
these
the track.
uploaded. Is the
Yeah.
thing. So like, if you want to hear these, then yeah. All right. Let's go. This will be the ones we actually verbally react to.
Yeah.
Hold on, putting on my React face. Oh, hell yeah. This one first.
I'm so happy they did this.
I did not expect this at all. I don't know why I didn't, because like I was watching the
past
Vidoc and I was like, wait, there's a cantina. That has to have music. What are they going to put in the cantina? And lo and behold, they wrote entirely new tracks for it. It does sound like elevator buzz. Elevator music.
I
Also,
love this sax so much.
first Destiny track with saxophone?
No, it was Dreaming of the Past. It had sax in it.
Okay,
Yeah,
first
sure it did.
non-lyric track.
Yeah. I think I said this in the description, but I tried so hard to convince Sky into doing a dawning theme of saxophone one year. And of course, he did not take my unsolicited suggestions. But I'm happy it happened eventually.
I mentioned in my interview with Sky that I wanted a track with jazz.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, Rasheen plays saxophone. That's cool.
Me working in sales in Old Chicago
What kind
together
of
with
saxophone?
Loda.
I hope we get Old Chicago in the future.
Tanner. Do you have a means to record? Because I have a track that needs tenor saxophone right now.
I genuinely want to know who did these.
Yeah, same. Ah, gotcha.
Can you ask Brendan?
Yeah, neither Brendan nor Mike know who did these.
Yeah, we have asked and no one knew.
Oh, so it wasn't any of them. Gotcha.
No.
We haven't tried asking Adam and Josh, but they're usually pretty quiet about things like this.
Surely they'll put this on the soundtrack, though, right?
Yeah, surely.
I think so. I'm very curious where they're gonna put it. Probably after Nolan. Can you imagine if these were Sky or Secrets?
That would be crazy. I love that they actually got a guitar for this.
I was gonna say, if there's anything I love, it is Sid's smooth electric guitar.
Yeah. Kinda sad Mike didn't get to do like a bass guitar groove to really bring it back in one of these.
Yeah. Well, after all this time, had a little bit of that. I know that
True,
was an old track, but
it occurred to me last night that I don't know for sure, but that might have literally been the first Destiny track he even wrote with the bass guitar in it.
it's possible, yeah.
Can we have an entire album of like Destiny music to work on sales to in the 50s?
Right? Right?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just doing the Guardian counter because I'm actually talking now. Like 32.
Once
I don't know.
I find out who composed these, I'm gonna immediately look them up and see if there's more.
We're gonna have to retire the Guardian counter bit. It's gone past 30. Has that ever happened in a soundtrack before?
Oh yeah, no, it happened in Lightfall.
Oh, okay.
And Final Shape too, I believe. But in Final Shape, I wasn't keeping track as we were doing the bingo. Got so lost in the music, I started doing my taxes.
I'm just playing this for context in case some people forgot. This one was made by Mike and Seedball and Sky 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
There is a reason that we're playing this. I'm sure some people already know.
Yeah. And here it is again, but as a full track.
Oh man, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm such a sucker for bossa nova.
Yeah.
I'm actually questioning now, did Sky do these? Because that drum kit,
That would be crazy.
that drum kit almost sounds just like his.
That would be crazy.
And it's even panned the same way that Sky's is.
Maybe they brought him back to perform drums.
Yeah, I don't want to like be fully confident on that or get the idea like too ingrained in everyone's minds, but if that ends up being true, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Would have been a crazy epilogue to Sky stuff in Destiny.
Yeah, it's like we were just, both of us independently were like, Sky, you gotta do the sax, man. You gotta do jazz.
And then he came back and did it.
just out of nowhere. That would be cool. But yeah, we have no idea. Oh, wait.
And then Sky is also a vibraphone player. Like, he has one, so that's another thing that tipped him off. Like, wait.
Okay, also, here's the thing. Sky Sky would know that Destiny 1 track exists.
Yeah,
Unless
he would.
Josh and Adam like specifically were like, hey, this thing from like 6 years before either of us worked at Bungie. Yeah, we got to make sure that gets this homage.
Oh,
Actually, Sky also plays guitar, I'm pretty sure. No?
Yeah.
Are
He's
we just
credited for
gaslighting ourselves
guitar
into
and
believing
Rise
this
of
theory at this point?
It's just we're genuinely curious now. Like, wait,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah, we have no idea, but that would be crazy.
What doesn't Sky play true?
That would be so crazy if this was just
No,
super
okay, yeah,
F1.
that is his drum kit. There's
Oh,
so
shit.
either someone like Josh or Adam is using the same library or patch, or they did actually get him.
That would be
guys, we're all
crazy.
going insane.
And without saying anything further, trust us, Bresci would know Sky's drum kit now more than ever.
Yeah, I'm very curious if that's Sky now.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I didn't like fully examine listening through those to like tell.
Right. Well, that was Destiny 2 Renegades. My god. I am gonna say something maybe controversial, because I know the Edge of Fate soundtrack was very well loved. I think I prefer this over Edge of Fate in terms of shorter soundtracks that have to still like convey a full story.
I'm
I-
gonna
I-
give it a week or so because recency bias
Yeah.
is always a thing.
Oh, of
For
course,
sure.
of course.
I think there's a lot more that I liked out of this soundtrack than I did with Edge
Yeah.
of Fate, for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
And then I also really like that there's these moments of you're going back to like, all right, orbit, ambient music to like take a break and calm down
I-
after like a really intense action track. And Edge of Fate did not have that.
I honestly think that that's why I feel that way, is that the inclusion of like calmer orbit and social space tracks really does a lot to round out a soundtrack.
Especially with those being Mike's contributions to this soundtrack, like that
Yeah.
Mike touch is definitely felt here. As for with Edge of Fate, like it's noticeably gone. There isn't any orbit or tower stuff in that. I should reference this or mention this because it's good PSA. Actually, that's a really good picture, Skater. Thank you for posting that. There is a jukebox kind of or DJ setup just like that in the cantina. If anyone here is streaming or making videos on Destiny Renegades, you can go up to that little table where the Dreg is playing the DJ stuff, and you can turn off the music if you don't want Hope for the Future copyrighting your stream. So
Oh, cool.
that's
That is
really
very good
handy. to
advice.
know.
If you don't like the track that's currently playing, you want a different one, turning it off and then on again will switch it to a different track. It will cycle.
Oh,
through.
neat.
I think it'll even reset the playlist from the very beginning. Like it won't pause it and then replay it. It'll just go back to the very beginning. Hope for the Future cannot be one of the starting tracks that plays at the beginning of the playlist. It always
Yeah.
plays one of these two jazz tracks that we just heard. And
Yes.
then after the jazz track is done, then there's a chance Hope for the Future will come in rotation. So
Yeah.
if you just landed in Tharsis Outpost and you go into the cantina, you will never hear Hope for the Future already playing by the time you walk in. And if you don't want it to play, just turn off the music in the back and then turn it back on again and it'll start from the beginning. Or you can just leave it off and then you won't have any chance of that music copyrighting your stream. Just a heads up for anyone here recording content for Renegades. Yeah, that's my version of the Renegades soundtrack like thrown together. I hope I did
did a
it
really good job.
justice.
Well done.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah, we
have
appreciate
to
the effort.
we'll have to see when the actual Renegades comes out, soundtrack comes out, how close I was, and if they include anything extra, like maybe trailer tracks or something, or maybe the Ash and Iron remixes. Everyone shoot Brendan, Nolan, Mike, and Josh some love, because they did amazing, and Rotom for the Fire and Ice music,
Yeah,
which we
I
just
wrote
played
him for the
together.
remixes.
You
Jump
can
scare.
find Brendan on Instagram, and I'm pretty sure also you can find Nolan on Instagram. I think Rotom has a website where you can email him to tell him how much you liked it. And Mike is not on any social media, but you can find his website, michaelsalvatore.com, and send him an email. He really loves getting messages like that.
The one day that Mike kind of interacts with the Destiny communities, whenever a soundtrack comes out, he will like look through comment section.
Yeah,
on the first day
that's another
occasionally.
thing. Mike does not ever engage with like social media or anything other than the fact that when Bungie uploads a soundtrack, he will actually read the comment section on all of those for the first day or two.
Yeah.
So if when the soundtrack comes out, if you guys want to leave a comment for Mike, definitely feel free to do that.
Yeah, do so as early as you can, and there's a
Yeah.
solid chance that he'll see it.
And thank you everyone for being here. Rosa, Owen, and Lorcan, thank you for being here to speak alongside with me.
Always a
Happy
pleasure.
to be here.
Are we going to be doing this again for Shattered Cycle?
I think so.
I mean, I don't see why not. If there is a soundtrack to listen to, I'll be listening.
Yeah.
I'm always
Anytime there's
willing.
music, I will show up for it.
I'm always willing to do another. Yeah, thank you everyone again for showing up. I'm gonna end the recording now.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.
Bye-bye, YouTube.